Hello. Hi, Kendra. How's it going? Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Anderson Street Project. Hey, Queen. Hey, Boo. Hey, Tony. How's it going? How's everybody doing today? Beautiful weather, right? And our special guest is here. Hi,
Hey,
Boo.
hello, hello, hello.
It's so good seeing you.
Whew, it's so good to be seen. Thank you, thank you. Good to
Of
see
course.
you.
Listen, anything for a living legend.
Who you talking about?
Girl, not me. I'm not. Listen, I don't have any great. Not to talk about I don't have no gray hairs or anything. But like, listen, I haven't done as much as you have. So,
Oh, God bless your heart. Thank you.
so welcome to the Anderson Street Project. In our neighborhood chat, and
Hello, thank you for having me.
yes, and we have a lot of people here to see you. Shout out to the neighborhood. Shout out to folks in the audience.
Hey,
You,
cuz, yeah, got family up in here too, I
yeah, hi
see.
family, hi family. Hey Marla.
Hey, everybody.
So we're
Oh,
you have a lot of people in here for you, honey.
yeah, Chi-Town is in the house.
Oh, shot.
Hey.
Look at this. We're global today.
Yeah.
so
Stop.
for those who don't know, I'm Evan Burton. I'm the creative director of the Anderson Street Project, and we are here with our neighborhood chat series where we are interviewing some of our favorite music entertainers in the city of Philadelphia. It is a very crazy time, as we all know, and one of the biggest industries that are impacted are our artists and the entertainment industry. So we wanted to just make sure, and this is just our way of checking in with some of our favorite folks and asking them how they're doing, and then of course giving them the space to let people know how they can be supported. So I am ecstatic to introduce the one and only Lady Alma, house music legend.
Oh, woo, woo. Oh my goodness. Paris is in the house. Jersey is in the house. New York is in the house. B More is in the house. Philly is in the house. This is awesome. I really thank you so, so much, Evan. I really appreciate this, and I'm glad to be here today.
Great. Well, we start off all of our chats with the same great but somewhat very important question, which is how are
Okay.
you doing?
I will say that I'm doing. You understand? I want to give a shout out though, real quick, to some of the people that have helped me, through this pandemic. I have gone through some things where, I lost and was misplaced in my apartment, but I'm much better now,
Good.
due to this. Sometimes you just got jackleg landlords that still are not abiding by what is going on, and you know the gigs got canceled.
Yeah.
And so I've been a little sad,
Mm-hmm.
but having support from my team,
Yeah.
has really helped out a lot. And actually, too, having support from organizations, such as Music Cares
Yeah.
and Taylor Plunkett Clement from the Philadelphia Performance
Yeah.
Artists Fund, the Philadelphia Music and Arts Festival, even the Philadelphia Center on the Aging, my friends, Damon,
Nice.
Chris, Weaver, just a lot of people just being in support has helped me to come out of the slump. Now, I'm not going to say that I don't sometimes fall back into
Yeah.
being a little sad because, you're hearing so much, it seems like bad news.
Yeah.
through good news that it almost washes away the good news. You understand? And
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
I'm just fortunate to be around positivity and peace where it has really been helping me at this time. So I'm coping pretty well right now.
Well, I'm grateful that you have, and I'm glad to hear that you have a phenomenal network. And of course, I know Tony, your manager, very well. Shout out to Tony.
Yes, yes. Shout out
But
Walking Bear.
yeah, shout out Walking Bear. So because a lot of people we're finding don't have that support system.
Right,
So it was, how were you able? I guess the question I have, what made you? Because a lot of especially people of color, we
right.
don't reach out when we go through things. So what gives you the courage to reach out and say, "Hey, I need help"?
Well, in actuality, to be honest, not being proud, but
Yeah.
I didn't,
Mm,
and I waited almost until it was, you know, in a sense, like, why did you wait this long? You know what I
yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
That's what happened with me because I was really trying to figure it out on my own. I was really trying to work it out and figure it out on my own. And
Yeah.
I really didn't even think it was going to go as far as it did, but it did.
Yeah.
And, here we are now. So after I was able to put the somewhat pride aside,
Yeah.
it felt a little easier for me to then say, listen, almost hands up, like, okay, I
Yeah.
do need help. And the outpouring of help that I received, though, and I didn't get the, well, Alma, why did you wait so long? It just was, she needs us, and so many people came and arose to the occasion.
Love
And
that.
I'm just grateful, shout out Pearl Jones, shout out Walking Bear, shout out my godmother, you understand?
Yeah.
Shout out the whole community,
Yes.
with me. I can't speak about anybody else, but I can
Mhm.
definitely speak about myself. And I really want to say, to the Lady Alma community, thank you guys
Yeah.
so much for your prayers, for your encouraging words, for listening to my music, just, everything. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, I mean, well, I'll speak for the Lady Alma community by saying thank you, because your music has gotten a lot of us through some very, very, very tough times. And
Oh,
if anybody in the comment, if that resonates with you, please let us know in the comments. But your music is just so inspirational, and I want to know, because I mean, I'll be totally honest, I just was not a house music listener before I listened to you.
that's
Uh,
fine.
so I saw you at a Kimmel Center event or somewhere, and I was just like, I don't know what the hell this is, but this is a whole experience. And then how you and because I want to ask you about your performing style a little later on, but like your
Okay.
music has helped so many people. So I guess what my first question about your style is, how did you find house music? Like, how did you find your home within house?
Okay, so me and House have had a relationship going back to my college days.
Interesting.
I was introduced to it then, but then I kind of swayed away from it because I started getting into other genres of music, reggae and, hard hip hop at the time. And so how I ended up coming back is working with King Britt.
Yeah,
Shout out to my man's King
the
Britt
legendary Fred.
and Tanja Dixon, who was my partner
Yes,
at the time, and she had took me out to Silk 130. That's how the whole Silk 130 collaborative happened.
yes,
She bringing me out, me meeting King, and then finding out that King knew my sister for years. They grew up together. He lived right around the corner from her. She lived on Litchfield. He lived on like Florence, I think.
uh
And
huh,
they grew up together. So I believe in my heart that it was written long time ago that I would be working with him, and my girl Tange was kind of like the catalyst of bringing us all together. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Right.
So I want to shout them out because that's how I got back to house. And of
Yeah.
course, it's history after that. So much happened after hooking up with King.
Mhm. What do
Yeah.
you think? Oh yeah. What do you think house music does to people?
My opinion, I
Yeah.
would like to say that it makes people feel
Hmm.
uninhibited.
Yeah.
Uh, no judgment. Like even the gulliest or even the thuggest
Hmm.
person will hear it, and it's kind of hard to
Right.
sit on the beat. It's kind of hard to sit on those keys that are playing. It's kind of hard to sit on the bass that you hear, and
Yeah.
then add it on vocals from so many greats like Kenny Bobian and Barbara Tucker, and like wow, you get into it. The song say, oh, I get lifted, yes, I get lifted. It just pulls you in. And I think I've seen it happen so many times. Even people who don't like house, when they come into a setting where it's
Yeah.
house,
Hmm.
they can't believe that it's what it is, because most people will equate house to the top 40 stuff. And
Right.
house
Yeah.
is so much deeper
Hmm.
than just the top 40 stuff. You know what I mean? What's up, Momo? So it's like, wow, that's house. That's house? Yes, that's house. You can't believe
Love
it.
it. So
Yep.
and what you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So and one of my, and I mean, I grew up in the church. So a thing that I was not expect, I wasn't expecting to hear within the house music setting is the relationship between the house beats to gospel music, and how from a sample perspective and even from a full song perspective. I mean, one of my favorite house songs are the ones with the Clark sisters and the Winans and all that stuff. So, I mean, why do you think those two genres go hand in hand?
It has to do with the beat. It has
Mm,
to, if anyone knows, the beat is the heartbeat of any song, of any
yeah,
song. I
yeah,
mean, even down to classical, it
interesting. Yeah,
has a timing. It has a timing, and it's the foundation for all the rest of the instruments and music that is incorporated in house.
hmm,
Now, why is it equated to gospel? It's
yeah,
the beat. You understand?
interesting.
It's the beat. And then,
Yeah,
of course, when you think about it, house is the daughter of disco.
hmm,
A lot of people in the disco times, some of them people came from the gospel world. No
yeah,
matter the fact that they
hmm,
were in the disco and cutting up or whatever, a lot of them came from the church and they could relate to that music. And so when house started to die, I mean, not house, sorry, when disco started to die, here come house. And
yeah,
house had many children.
hmm,
You understand? House got a lot of kids.
yeah,
She's got gospel, she's got Chicago, she's got Jersey house.
mm,
Then she gets into, she has broken beat. She's got drum, her and drum and bass had kid, and that's broken beat. You
yeah,
understand? So it's all
yeah,
these different genres of house right in itself. People didn't understand that and didn't know that until you start talking about it. And I'm excited. I'm glad that it pulled me in that direction, because a lot of people from Philly was about the neo soul and
uh,
R&B and hip hop. We known for those three things, and we wasn't really known for house, but was known for disco, because you
right,
got TSOP, the Sounds of
uh-huh,
Philadelphia. You
right.
understand?
For
So
Absolutely.
Hey, and that's the foundation,
Right.
and so it was a surprise that you didn't have too many artists coming out. And I felt like, so many was in that one lane that there was a whole highway that was not being tapped into from Philadelphia. And so
Yeah.
why not keep Philly on the map with another genre? We're
Yeah.
known for jazz, we're known for heavy jazz. Out of here we're known for heavy R&B and soul. We're known heavy for even classical. But
Yes.
now, why not also start putting house on the map? And it brings so many people together that is unbelievable. And that is what I like. That is what I'm about. Bringing so many folk together. That's what drew me to house, to see so many people be together and not incidents, number love, peace and love. It's like,
Love
wow.
that. Love that. And I think that's why so many people are here tonight. So shout outs to everybody who are
Yes.
here. Um,
Queen Joe Music is in the house. I want to
yeah,
shout her out because
yeah,
she got some hot stuff jumping up, but I ain't gonna go too fast.
yes,
I'm
definitely.
with you.
We love Queen Joe. Shout out to Queen Hey Boo. Um,
Hey.
so and you touched on it. Philly. In the early 2000s was like the neo soul capital of the world. Especially I would say the hub of it was the Black Lily. But
Yes.
you are a regular performer there.
Yes.
So how was that? I mean, you as this house music uh, entertainer in this room of neo soul vocalists, some of them equally legendary in their own right. So, like, how was that?
For me, one, it was where I was able to continue to hone my craft. It was a
Mm,
platform for me to strengthen myself as a vocalist, how to reach out to my audience. It was a whole learning platform for me. And I want to shout out, the Kindred
yes.
Family Soul and, Jaguar Wright and New Ra Soul and, you
Yeah.
know, um, River,
Hmm.
River D. Parker, all these people that were there and they were like teachers, Jazzy Fat Nasty. They were my teachers. I watched these people rock the stage and, for them to be able to allow me, and I say allow because it really was hard to get on that stage. I'm
Yes.
telling you, you had to, really be on your P's and Q's when you was on
Yeah.
that stage. But
Mhm.
I'm very grateful for that era. And it was a great experience because they received me even with what I was doing. I was giving them something else.
Yeah.
I always like to say that the lily is it was a flower with many petals, and I was one of the
Mm,
petals.
mm.
So, it was a great learning experience for me.
And I mean, and when we talk about your performance, if anybody has seen you live, they know how transcendent of an experience that is. And how did you develop your style? Because first of all, I don't know how what God did to your throat to have you go into the audience and be audible without a mouth, without a mic. Like that is unreal. But it's a way it touches so many people. So how did you develop that style?
I would have to shout out. I'm doing a lot of shout outs today, but
Yeah,
I
we
would
love
have
it.
to shout out my school, Girard Academic Music Program, GAMP
Yes.
for short. And I also went to Settlement Music School after school. I actually learned my craft. I actually
Mhm.
learned how to use my diaphragm. I actually learned how to create sound from the larynx without destroying. I had an incident though once in
Mm.
Atlanta. I was performing with Little John and Mark the Clive-Low, and I
Yeah.
lost my voice after the performance. Like I couldn't talk or anything.
Mm.
And when I began to regain my vocals, I noticed that my vocals had changed a bit,
Yeah.
But I was much more sensitive. And Little John said to me, he said, listen, don't ever compete with instruments.
Interesting. Huh.
That's why I started learning how to control the band. You know, shout out to the bands, all the
Yeah.
musicians, shout out to them. But what happens is they get excited when they're performing also with the lead performers, and they tend to get a little loud. Well, I've learned I haven't mastered, but I've learned to learn how to control the band without being a jerk, you
Yes.
know,
Mhm.
showing my creativity through through sound, and you know, hoping that, and trying to teach musicians that this is an instrument too,
Mm.
and you have to be considerate to the instrument that's up front. So when
Yeah.
I do get a chance to go out in the audience, you know, my guys, Vertical Current, and those that I have worked with in the past, Chris,
Yeah.
Dom, Jersey, all these cats have learned that, okay, she getting ready to go out in the audience. She getting ready not sing with the mic. they
Yeah.
they have learned to be sensitive, you know. It's
Hmm.
also about dynamics anyway. You want
Yes.
people to be on a musical roller coaster when you're performing, you
Yes.
know.
And
So
that's
that's where I've learned.
and I mean that's like, that's my big issue with music nowadays. Like I'm and everybody knows, anybody knows, I'm not really judgmental when it comes to music, but it seems like people have lost the meaning of a live performance and the journey and how to take people through the ups and downs and to convey a story. And speaking of storytelling, I mean, I have to shout out the Ursula Rucker who's in the room.
Oh my
Hey,
girl, Earth,
the
yes,
legend Ursula. So hey,
yes.
thank you for coming. And also, while we're here, thank you for everybody who joined since the beginning. We're just chatting with the legendary Lady Alma. And if you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments, send it to us privately, and we will get to them because this is all about community tonight.
That's
Um,
right.
so one of my favorite things about you, Lady Alma, is your taste in music. I mean, if anybody who follows you on Instagram, they can see how diverse your musical taste is. And sometimes you post stuff, I'm
Yeah.
like, oh shit, I'm listening to that same song. And you put me onto songs. So
Right, right, right,
how did you develop in fact, I don't want to say how do you developed your musical taste, even though I do want to know the answer to that. But like,
right.
how are you so open to hearing so many different things?
One, I have an array of friends from all over the world that put out great music.
Mm,
And I listen to them first.
yeah.
You know, they're from everywhere. I am so grateful to be in this position and to have the job that I have, because I get to travel and I get to
Mm,
see and experience people in its entirety. So
yeah.
I get to see their hoods. I get to
Mm,
see when they hurt, because I have friends in other countries. So I get a chance to experience when they're hurt. I get a chance to experience when someone has been born in the family, or you know, all of these things that starts when you're able to go outside of your comfort,
mm-hmm.
you know. And my mom has always had me like that. I was born in San Diego, California, and
Mm-hmm.
was born from a Navy. I'm a Navy brat. So
Uh-huh.
right there also, if you think outside of just your comfort, that helps you to open up your ear, your mind, your heart to a lot of things, and that's what has helped
Mhm.
me to be attracted to other musics besides just my good R&B and my good old jazz. It helps me to be open to some of the young people stuff that is out and is really really good, and I can relate to what they're
Yeah,
giving me, versus even as well to understand and appreciate my legends and my icons that have come before me. You understand? So
yeah,
that's where it come from, just being open,
yeah.
being
I mean,
open from a child.
yeah. I mean, we both. I remember us having a conversation after Aretha Franklin died, and
Yeah,
how messed up both of us were after that. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, I
But
was.
and you touched on your global influence, and we must bring up a couple of years ago when you went viral. Uh,
Shout out to South Africa for that. We got to shout out South Africa for
yes,
that one. And my buddy, um, DeCock, DJ DeCock,
yeah,
and Laka. I'm very, very grateful to that whole entire continent because of them.
yeah. Now, did you know that you had a big following in South Africa before then?
I knew I had a following. I did not know how big the following was, though.
Yeah,
Yeah. Until actually I went over and I experienced, the love that they had just walking down the street, coming out the restaurant, and
yeah.
hearing my music in cars, passing
Oh,
cars and stuff.
wow.
It was a trip. Yeah, it was a trip.
So how did you can you explain how you felt when you saw the video and then saw how many views and shares it reached on Facebook?
To be honest, words really cannot describe actually how I
Mm,
felt. At times I just it just would make me cry because I was so
yeah,
filled to see, this brother knowing these lyrics.
yeah.
He knew them better than I did because I had wrote the song over 10 years ago. Like, he was the reason that I had to go back and learn all of my music the
Wow.
way that it's supposed to be,
Yeah.
because that
Mm,
showed me that, okay, it's people listening to your music. I was grateful. I was speechless. I was overwhelmed. I was so many emotions.
yeah. Well, that's how we
Man,
feel. I mean, and the funny thing is, what you saw him do is how all of us respond to your music.
it was amazing. We
Yeah.
talking over 26 million now,
Oh,
It's been
geez.
over 26 million. I don't understand though. This is the only thing I don't understand. Why can't I get on Ellen?
Well,
Why can't I get on Ellen? I can't understand that, but I'm just grateful that it went globally, and because of that, I have been working.
yeah,
Because of Inlaka, because of the general, I am working. A lot of people are being healed from that song. That song is no longer mine. That song
yeah,
belongs to the public. That
yeah.
song belongs to all of you. All of you. It belongs to you guys. That song. Let it fall. Does not no longer belong to me. It belongs to my people, to my family, to the hurt, to the sick, to the downtrodden, to the encourager. It's their song. It's the people's song.
Well, that's a gospel song if you ask me. So,
It's a people song. It is the people song.
we have some questions. Someone
Yes.
asked if you will be willing. If you would. Are you interested in doing a virtual party, like a virtual concert? Because they said they will absolutely pay, and I will co-sign that.
Well, I don't want to give away too much because I'm looking at the state of what's going on.
Hmm.
And I'm seeing that this is actually the way at this time. So
Yeah.
I just don't want to give up too much, but
Okay.
I want everyone to hold tight with all they might. Please hold
Well, we are
tight.
ready.
Hold tight with all your might. I got something in the works. I just don't
Listen,
want to
we
say too
ready.
much, though.
The outfits are laid out. The dancing shoes are out the closet. We are ready. Say, hey, Miss Adrian.
Yes.
Miss Adrian is ready.
Hey,
Aaliyah
Miss
is ready.
Adrian.
Ashley
Yes,
is ready.
Miss
See, we in here. We are
Adrian.
ready to
Come
party.
on,
Cece is
Ashley.
ready.
Yes.
Listen, drop the
Yvette,
link if you
yes.
can. And if somebody,
I will.
yes, listen, you know what I realized about these times. I think people are leaning into the arts again to heal themselves, unlike
Right.
ever before. And of course, if
Yeah.
someone had posted earlier in the conversation that that your music is helping them get through this time, and I will co-sign that as well.
Oh, I appreciate it. Seriously. I love you guys so much. Listen, every time I post, when you see me say I love you, I
Hmm.
really mean that. And I want to explain that real quick if it's all right
Yeah,
with you. You
please,
really
absolutely.
don't have to know someone to love someone.
Hmm.
I love people on that platform of folks are appreciating something that is personal to me,
Yes.
and folks are appreciating it. And so that makes me, it touches my heart and it makes me
Mhm.
feel the love emotion. I mean, like, I I don't want to be negative. I've been negative as a teen,
Yeah.
coming up,
Mhm.
attitude problems, stuff like that. I'm older now, and because I'm able to share this and because I'm receiving it, I know every day ain't gonna be peaches and cream, but if I can make my atmosphere be that way, why
Yeah.
not? So when I say that, I mean that.
Mhm.
I mean it from my
Uh,
heart. I mean it, y'all. I mean it when I say it.
and honestly, we hear it in your music too. We hear the love. We feel it, and we see it when you perform. Like you have that genuine care, and that's why we're standing by you. So that's why we're all here. Listening to what you have to say tonight.
I appreciate it. Seriously.
Someone else asked, and I was so pissed that I missed this show, actually the whole tour, which was the tour you did with Donnie, the
Yes.
legendary Donnie. And
Yes.
someone asked if you two will be collaborating anytime soon.
Hopefully, it's a lot of I can't speak for other artists, but I can speak for myself. Somebody had asked, "Are you writing?" Nope. I'm
Mm,
writing, I'm trying to get inspired. I
yeah,
really am, but I'm just being hit left and right sometimes, and it almost feels uninspired. So I know that I got to do something to give to my fam because that probably will help to get my inspiration going. You know what I'm saying? I got to do something so
yeah,
that it'll help me get to writing because I got some things.
yeah. So if
Yeah.
you're not writing, what are you doing to heal yourself? And that was Marla who asked that. Hey, Marla, what are you doing to heal and fill you up during this time?
That's a good question, Miss Marlin, and I appreciate you asking me that. What I've been doing to heal myself right now is absolutely nothing. I'm
Good.
being. I'm being. I'm staying safe. I'm trying to stay sane and sanitize. And what's been healing me, I've been communicating with my community and we've been
Mm,
encouraging one another. So that's actually been helping to heal me is that I'm able to go outside of how I'm personally feeling to encourage somebody else because I actually get a little bit of joy when I'm hearing on the on the other end, Alma, you just don't know what you just did for me. And so
yeah,
then that helps me feel better because somebody is feeling better than they were prior to our conversation. So
yeah,
that's what I'm doing, Miss Marla. Thanks for asking me that question.
yeah. So what? I mean, there's just so many questions I have now. Let's starting with like, you know, mm, so like, what did you listen to today? Like, what music did you listen to today?
Today. I listen to my girl India Shawn. It's this
Yes,
young lady by the name of India Shawn, and she's got the
yes,
song called Cali Love. So I'm loving that song right there. So it's like been in repeat. Her
yes.
and this, I believe they're Korean. This group called Taemin. They're from
Interesting.
Korea, and they have a song called Thirsty that I'm
Okay.
loving. And Wes Felton, my boy from DC, he's got
Yes.
this song called Quarantine Love that he just not too long ago did, and it's really fire. And then my girl Risa Renee, Wear a Dress.
Yes.
But I'm listening to everything Risa because Risa got a lot of good stuff
Yeah.
going on. And I've been also like, I'll go back to listening to Akil's got a song that I like. Kindred's
Yes. Kendra's
Kindred's
and it's his
their
21st
son,
birthday. Shout
yes.
out to Akil.
Yes, shout out to Kill, happy birthday. So I've been listening to young people lately, and Anderson Paak is working on a project. So he's been like, throwing little stuff, bits and pieces here and there.
Yes.
And I've been listening to a little bit of me, I've been
Yes.
listening to me. Cause, I need to. I'm getting ready, I gotta know my stuff if
What's
I'm
your
gonna do
favorite song
anything.
that you've recorded?
Right now, I like Make You Move. That is
Yes.
my favorite. That and It's House Music is my favorite right now. But back
Hmm.
in the day, Happiness and Hold It Down was my favorite. But then again, I have so many that are my favorite that I really can't be particular about my babies, but right
Yeah.
now I'm liking Make Your Move and It's House Music because they keep
Yeah.
coming up with like all these different remixes, which is cool. Shout out to Lil Dave. Shout out
Yes.
to DJ Spinner. Shout out to Mark Francis. Shout
Yes.
out to DJ Shannon Chambers. And shout out to Terry Hunter. That's my peeps.
well, well, my favorite song of yours is what is it? Far Away. Take me far away. What's that song?
To a
Yeah.
place
Yes.
far away. Yes, yes,
Yeah, that's
yes.
my jam.
Far away. Yep, yep, yep. Thank you. All right. Or Twilight.
So, another question: when you're in
Yes.
communion with your audience, we
hmm
know how we feel, but what is that for you?
It's like it's like it's like a I, it's it's hard to say, but it's like all this energy, untamed,
Hmm.
and it just I feel the heat and everything. Like that's probably why I sweat a lot because it be all the energy that comes from the people, and it feels good. It's just a good energy that I feel when I'm up there. The people give me really really good, and even folks that don't want to be there,
Hmm.
they can't help but end up giving out good energy. You know,
Hmm.
I don't know what happens, but they end up giving out the good energy too.
Mm. Hey, Trinae. I know you interviewed with Trinae on WHYY. Hey, Trinae, how's
Yes,
it going? Welcome.
Trinay.
So do you think Philadelphia gets the respect it deserves as a house music city?
No, no, it
Mm.
doesn't because we're not known for that.
Yeah. Mm.
We're not known for it, and so that's I'm glad that we have people like Venus Seven and Rich
Hmm.
Medina and Cosmo and DJ Kobe and all these DJs that are that spin it.
Yeah.
Jazzy Jeff, shout
Hmm.
outs to him. He spins it. Very
Yeah.
grateful. Questlove, he'll,
Yeah.
spin house. I'm glad that all of them are starting to do that. And and
Yeah.
and a lot of them that I named, Victor Duplay, all of them, they always did play house music. And I'm
Yeah.
glad that they're pushing it even more. DJ Dell, Rob Payne, DJ Dirty, all these DJs that are right here in our city. Cosmo, they spin house. It's just, it's so much that we got going on here that we don't get the chance to go to all the parties all at once. But,
Yeah.
hopefully one day when this is all over, people will go out and go to other clubs than just their own
Yeah.
usual
Mm-hmm.
clubs.
Mm-hmm.
Experiment a little bit, tap into these beautiful treasures that we have right here in our city.
Yeah.
Right
I
here
love
in our city.
I love that WDAS started playing house on Saturday nights.
Yeah, shout out to Steve Mason.
Yes,
It used to
legend.
be, yeah, shout out to Steve Mason spinning that good out.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's, and I've heard your music being played on there, so that's a great
Yes,
outlet for you and for others in that community. Um,
absolutely.
someone asked, well, before we get to that, what do you think? So, actually, I have two things. So, what do you think Philadelphia needs to do as a city to start elevating not only the house music but our cultural creative community? Because it seems like and if folks have been following, the political mess that we're in, it seems like the mayor has cut all arts funding, which speaks volumes. And it always seems that the creative community in Philly has to, carry the load on their own, which is unfair because all of people, when people think of Philadelphia, they think of the arts. So, what do you think we need to do as a creative community to kind of lobby for ourselves to tell the people in the city that we actually matter?
That's a very good question. And to start, because I don't really like to touch on politics. I really
Yeah,
don't.
neither
I
do
hate
I.
it.
Yeah.
But one, we have to start. We really have to really write to our legislators. We
Mm-hmm.
really have to do that. Like it can't be half and half. You understand? It
Mm-hmm.
can't be some people doing it and they're carrying the weight constantly. It has
Yeah.
to be everybody. We have to really, for once, come together as a
Mm-hmm.
community. If
Yeah.
I know it has been said, it's almost like rhetoric, but we really have to come together as a community if we want our voices heard. And we can't have dissension within the community. Like
Yeah.
it can't be dissension within it. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
We really have to come together and we have to continue to stay on the boom, punching the legislators with our complaints, with our demands. You understand? Like me, honestly, I want to rally up and petition that vocalists, musicians, we all get health care. Like we should be
Yeah.
having health care. We're on
Right.
the front line as far as when it's time to perform. We're out there performing for all these folk. What happens when we do get sick? Like we should have
Mm.
before. They got health care for strippers. So why can't the musician and the artist have health care?
Okay. Nothing else needs to be said
No
after
diss to the strippers.
that.
Shout out to the strippers. Hey,
Yes.
but I'm just saying, like, we though have to come together. When we have those meetings and whatnot, we need to go to those meetings. We need to
Yes.
be sitting at the tables, at these think tank tables, and not just sitting there, but really putting our brains and our ideas together and putting them on paper and killing legislation with
Yeah.
our demands, with the things that will help us get what we need. Or we're gonna
Yeah.
be like dinosaur. We're gonna become like dinosaur.
Mm. Well, I felt that. I mean, I think predators prey on silence. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
all the time.
if you're silent and don't say anything, you'll be the first ones off the list. So
What it
you're
say? Closed
100%
mouth don't get fed.
okay.
I just learned that.
Yes.
I just learned that lesson.
Yes.
So.
Yeah.
Could you imagine,
Mm.
though?
Yeah, I mean, I've been through some things recently where I was just like, I need help. And I waited to the last moment to ask for help. But the fact that I asked made my quarantine so much better.
Right,
And I
right.
and I was going through more of an emotional thing as opposed to, others. But, just the fact that I had people to talk to and people to listen, that's what carries us through. Yeah.
Listen, shout out to all those that are in quarantine by themselves.
Yeah.
I wanna send love to all of you guys that are there out quarantined by yourself. Alma's thinking of you. Alma is sending love to you. You know, mentally it's hard on families.
Yeah.
Mentally it's hard on
Mhm.
people that got people. So I can only imagine those that are by themselves. So I'm sending love to you guys.
Yeah. And I do too. Absolutely.
Hmm.
Um, so ironically, people are asking, like, what's your cash at? People want to support you, honey.
Oh, you want my cash app is
Yes.
$ Lady Alma one.
Yes.
Lady Alma one. I'll sing it. Look.
And what's your favorite venue to perform? Like, where's your favorite
Oh, don't do that. Don't do that. It's just way too many. And I'm not trying to, I don't want to slight anyone. For real, for real. But if I had to just say one, it's the Paradiso in Amsterdam.
venue? Interesting. What about
Hmm.
it?
The atmosphere, the fact that I come from the States
Mm,
and to come over there and I speak this much Dutch.
yes.
And that's because I have friends over there. But to be received, and a lot of people still speak their native tongue, to have folk really give you the energy that you're used to getting when you home.
Yeah.
Because somebody said since she put that lip gloss on,
Okay.
send us a
Popping
kiss.
is
So,
popping, boo.
you know, you know, hey. But it's there. It's a great place. Actually it's an old church.
Interesting.
It's an old church, and the atmosphere in there, like God never left.
Do you think that the countries, like the foreign countries, have a better respect for house music than America itself?
No, I won't say that
Interesting.
now since I've been working a lot up North Jersey, and I got to shout my
Yeah.
family out up North Jersey, Momo, all of them up there, Joy, Dan Shriver, Kenny Boban, all of them, Mark Francis, that whole family, that whole entire family, North Jersey. You want some good house, and you don't want to go down to Baltimore, go to North Jersey before. You might not want to take the whole trip up to New York. You
Yes.
could just take your trip right up to North Jersey. You'll find some banging house music being played from some of the best DJ. Shout out DJ Beloved. All these cats, all my
Oh,
whole North Jersey fam, they spin some great music.
good to know. What is it
DJ
about North Jersey?
Jahad Muhammad, and
What
my
is it
DJ
about North?
DJ Reds. Hold on,
Yes.
my DJ Red 609. Listen, and you said what is it about them?
Yeah, what is it about North Jersey? I mean, North Jersey doesn't. I mean, Jersey period doesn't get its respect. I mean, from Jersey club music, all the way to traditional house. But like, what's the why North Jersey?
Because I've been working up there for the last 3 years, and
Yeah.
I've done tapped into a whole market that some people don't know exists. Some
Interesting.
folk don't know it exists.
Yes,
Take a trip with the lady. Like next time we out, Patterson, Newark, all them places.
I'm coming in
Take a
2021.
trip.
I will be
Listen
there.
to, yup, fall of 2021. Maybe like for me, maybe November. But
Yes.
take a trip. The next time you guys hear that Lady Alma's going to be somewhere up in North Jersey, I suggest you take a trip. You will see and experience some great music, good people. East Orange got it going on. Like,
Mm.
whoo, shout out to the whole North Jersey family. Lady loves you. Lady appreciates you.
You see Maryland, somebody from Maryland. Hey,
Yeah,
Edna, she said she
I
coming
told you.
too. See, let's get a
Listen,
little
come
bus
on,
or something
Edna.
together.
See, I'm trying to tell you. I'm trying to tell you. The next time I have something, I think a couple vans should get rented, and y'all
Yes,
should come on up. Take a trip with the lady, like my niecey Pooh said. She said, "Take a trip with the lady," and
yes, I love
I'm
it.
for it. I'm
I'm there.
for it, y'all.
I'm there. So we have 10 minutes left, approximately. And
Mm,
so I know time flies when we're having fun.
yes.
So if you guys have any last minute questions for Lady Alma, please let us know. Um, but I do want to give you a time to let people know how they should support you, because you said in the beginning that you had a couple challenges, but you got over them. But so how can people support you? Because we are here, and we're ready. Just let us know how.
Well, one, starting by going to the website www.theladyalma.com.
Hmm.
Also, streaming my music, going to my Spotify, Lady Alma, just track source, download some good music. Just, do their streaming and get some music. And if you want to support me and you just want to give a love offering because you're thinking about me, just hit the cash app, $Lady Alma 1.
Mm. And is your music on all the on the streaming outlets?
What? Yes, I'm even on title.
Yes.
Ooh, lady is on title. And can I just say this? I just got honored with my blue check on Facebook. So I
Yay.
need for everybody to please, 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 please appeal to Instagram and tell them to give me my blue check. I need
Yes.
my blue check.
Yes. This is a good question. Marla
Yes.
always has the great questions.
Come
What's
on,
your
Marla.
writing process in the studio? Like, does it start with like, do they send you beats? Like, how does that work?
Okay, so my process starts like if I'm in the studio, usually the music is already there. So I just get the inspiration from what is being played and how I go about the subject. That's pretty random. It's what I'm feeling, maybe what is going on right at that time. You
Mm.
know what I'm saying? I might write about current events. A lot of times, though, if you notice in my songs, it's about peace and love. A lot of peace and love because that is what I desire. Um, so this is what I choose to write about, the things that are on my mind. Sometimes people will give me ideas too. I'll write about something that is going on, globally, world current events, some dirt, I'll write about.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's usually the music first. Sometimes I'll write lyrically without the music, but I really like the music there because that really helps and it drives me to write lyrically.
Huh.
Hmm.
That's really good. Someone
Yeah.
also asked, "What's your favorite instrument?"
My favorite instrument, I have two. I love the piano because
I
I
knew you were going
play
to
it.
say that.
Yeah, I play it. And then I love the bass. The
Mm,
bass. And it's one more, and I love violin. I When I was younger, I played violin, but it kept giving me that mark right
yeah.
there, and I kept being teased, and it kind of deterred me from playing it because people were saying I had passion marks, and it wasn't no passion marks. Somebody said they know it's a COVID song on the horizon. Unfortunately for me, no, there is not. It's enough COVID songs, and I
Yeah.
don't want to contribute. This is a bad memory for me, and it's something that, we will never forget. But for my mind, I will never write about it.
Mm. Interesting.
Right.
Huh.
Maybe of how we overcame, but you'll never hear COVID in the song.
Yeah, I don't think anybody wants to be reminded of this mess. Ooh, child. Are you following like all the verses and all that stuff? Like are you tuning into all the Instagram stuff and the social media things?
Not everything, because I have, even though we're quarantined, I still got a life. But
Yeah.
who I'm drawn to, I am drawn to Dion Cole.
Yes.
Shout out to Dion Cole. I
Who
am
knew he was a
drawn,
fabulous house DJ? Who knew?
and he's getting good. He's, the more and more he does it, the more and more he's starting to kill it.
Yeah.
Rich Medina has
Yes.
really, really good parties over at Twitch, and I
Yes.
have fun. I forget almost that I'm quarantined,
Hmm.
and I look at a few people's Instagram lives. I look at, you when you're talking to some of us,
Oh,
and I
thank
like that. I really enjoy this platform. It is very encouraging, and
thank
I
you.
am very honored that you even asked me to be a part of it. So thank you, Evan. I
Oh, girl,
love you
please
so
listen.
much.
Again, we are in the midst of a legend, and when I, came up with this idea a month ago, I did not expect that people would be so receptive. So thank you, and thank you to all the
Oh,
artists who have come on thus far, and thank you for the audience for tuning in. It's again, like this was just a harebrained idea that really got me out of a deep, dark depression because you know me, I love to talk. So
yes.
more opportunities I get to connect with the people I love that'll make me feel
Lulu,
better, and then hopefully other people will feel better.
Aaliyah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
hey Aaliyah, hey Boo.
Shout out
Um,
to my publicist.
yes, a fabulous publicist at that, the
Yes,
best in
she
the
is.
city.
Yes,
Yes.
she is.
But if anybody, let's see if there's any more questions. How do you challenge yourself daily to stay in the musical zone?
It's not a challenge because it's part of my life.
Mm,
Music is a part of my life. So for me, it's not a challenge. I'm
yeah.
encouraged every time I go online and I see my family, and I'm talking about my musical family at this time, continuing
Mhm.
to go on despite of this dark time that we're going through. I see rays of light through the darkness because of them. So
Mhm.
it's not a challenge. It's a part of life. It's a part of my life.
Yeah. And for our last question of the evening, what would you tell the generation, the generation of performers coming after you? Like, if you could give them one piece of advice, what would you give them?
Hone your craft, learn your craft, and hone it. I think a lot of people, they're God given talented, and there's nothing wrong with that. But he said to study to show thyself approval. So you need to hone on your craft.
Mm,
It's not easy, it doesn't come overnight.
yeah.
You need to study, and you need to learn, and you need to live it. It needs to be a part of your life. You need to wake up with it on your mind. You need to have it
Woo.
on your mind when you're getting ready to go to bed. Like, it's got to be a part of your regimen. It has to be a part of your life. That's what I would offer to the up and comings. Keep it in your. It's got to be a part of your life. Keep it in your life. Let it be part of your life. Let it be your life.
I felt that. Woo! That gave me chills. You know when something like pops you in the back of your head? That's what that just did.
Yeah.
So with so with that, I want to thank you so much for coming. You have no idea how much of an honor this is.
Oh my God! I want to thank you for having me. Thank
Yeah.
you so
And
much.
and I want to just reiterate that you are loved and we want to support you. So if
Thank
we
you.
are here for you. So if you ever
Thank
need
you.
anything, and I don't say we as an Anderson Street, I mean we as your fans, we are here for you.
Thank you so much, Evan. I appreciate it. And thank
Yeah,
you guys for coming on and sticking it out for an hour with me. I appreciate it.
yes. And I want to give a quick commercial break. Another quick commercial. Me and DJ A-List, we are bringing back our Flawless Day Party on Zoom. We're honoring Brandy and Monica. We're going to do the verses that they don't want to do. So,
Okay.
follow us on Instagram for the details. And we will be back next week with another chat. So,
Whoop,
with
whoop.
that, I will bid you guys adieu.
Wait, wait. And the person that said they wanted to hit me up for the day party, just